Hello everybody, and welcome to the last part of our Pchela Vertibird mod showcase. In this one, I will try to show you every feature of the Pchela Vertibird. How do you control it, how do you use it for combat, how do you use it for transport, and many other features that are included with this mod. So if you like it, please go to the mod page, download it, and please endorse it, because this is truly a wonderful one. So to start, you have to go to a chemistry workbench and build the ingestible Pchela commands. After that, you have to favorite it like any other ingestible, and it pops up the Pchela commands menu. Here I have issued my first command, which is Pchela fly to land, which basically calls the Vertibird, and it lands on the exact location you gave the command. The second option that you have is Pchela fly to the settlement. You choose it and then basically choose whatever settlement you want. In this case, I'm going to send the Pchela to Nordhagen Beach, which is the closest one. Now, if you have the mod Vertibird landing pads, it will actually land on the landing pad, which is a nice combo. The fly over this place command calls the Pchela to your location, but it doesn't land. It performs circles around the last location or the location where you were when you first issued the command. So here the Pchela arrives and it starts circling the area where you issued that command. The Accompany me or Scout Ahead commands are basically commands for the Vertibird to go to your location but actually follow you around like a follower. Here you can see that he's not just circling that area, but he is actually following me. You can access these commands by clicking the Pchela directly when it says commands. But if you want to ride the Vertibird, you have to shift your aim until it says Pchela transport. Now, for the next set of commands, we are actually going to ride the Vertibird so that I can show you the altitude features. You can climb or descend the Vertibird 50 meters or 1000 meters, or you can hover it in place. For these features, you can start the Pchela by simply clicking fly over this place. Now let's check the first option. If you select hover, it will simply stop the Vertibird in its place. Now let's try climbing 50 meters. Now let's try climbing 1000 meters. So here, as you can see, when I chose that option, the Pchela turned hostile. You can see by the red mark on the Pchela. If that happens to you on any occasion, you can simply bring the menu up again and select the option Peace. That will make the Pchela again non-hostile to both you and your companions. Now, as you can see, it climbs really high, and this is a very useful feature to avoid enemy vertibirds or simply enemy fire and travel anywhere safely. Now I will show you the option to descend 1000 meters to go back to the initial position. Now, if you can stop your vertibird by selecting the hover command on top of a building, you can actually then select the command jump to jump off the vertibird on top of that building. Here I was experiencing some script lag and I couldn't stop it on top of the building. But if you have a better PC, probably you can do just that. Just be careful not to jump too high, or you could kill yourself. Now let's try using the Pchela for combat. For that you have to turn on assault mode. In the menu, just select turn on assault mode, and then you can revert back to turn on transport mode. While in assault mode, the Vertibird will travel anywhere you tell it to, but if he faces any opposition, he will try to fight it until all the opposition is gone.
American casualties unacceptable. Overkill protocols authorized. Communism is the very definition of failure.
So whenever you want to stop the Vertibird from fighting, you have to switch back to transport mode and then order it to circle the area around you so that you can finish all the surrounding opposition. So basically, if you turn on assault mode, it will go back to using its main weapons, which in this case are the missiles. You can also change the Vertibird speed, and for that I would advise using values below 200. A maximum of 175 would be ideal, because beyond that you will just experience problems with loading cells and pop-ups, and you could also experience freezes and crashes. Now, if you select the control panel option, you can actually change the weapons of the Vertibird and the voice, and also some things like sharing combat experience or using flight in scene. Flight in scene is, I think, it's basically when the Vertibird hovers in place so that you can shoot at the enemies. When you, it basically makes the flight more stable so that you can shoot them. You can also enable or disable sharing combat experience so that you gain experience every time the Pchela kills anyone. You can also change the time your companions take to enter the Vertibird after you enter the Vertibird. And you can also assign seats to your companions. Let's say, for example, that you want to assign a seat to Preston Garvey. You have to talk to Preston Garvey and then go to this menu and select the seat that you want him to sit when you enter the Vertibird. Or you could just select the option to sit no one, so that no companions sit when you enter the Vertibird Pchela. You can also change the size of the Vertibird, but I wouldn't advise messing around with this, just because you can bug the Vertibird, and just save before using that. In the next option, you can change the stats of the Vertibird. For example, if you select info, you can see its health, action points, resistance, and all that. And you can change these resistances by multiplying it by 1 or multiplying it by 7. You can also turn it immortal, which means that he is immune to every type of damage and thus he cannot be killed. Or you can make it protected, which means that only you, the player, or environmental damage can harm the Pchela. You can also check the Pchela's health during combat by selecting the option Turn on Monitoring. And below is the option Get into Vertibird, which is to order your companions to board the Vertibird even if you don't board it yourself. And now let's check another submenu, which is the menu service. Here you can repair your Vertibird if you have steel in the Vertibird inventory and enter the cargo hold. As you can see from here, when you try to enter the cargo hold without power armor, it doesn't enter the cargo hold. You have to first enter your power armor and then select this option again. If you select the option Cargo Container, you can enter or access a container to deposit anything that you like inside the Vertibird. The option Fuel Tank is to recharge your Vertibird with flamer fuel so that you can drive it around. The option Load Power Armor is to put any power armor in the vicinity inside the Vertibird, and the option Unload Power Armor is to take it back out again. So now let's try using a power armor to enter the cargo hold. And this is one of the coolest features of this mod. Here you can have like a portable player home where you can repair your power armor, recharge the Vertibird fuel, refill with supplies, and practically anything that you can do on a player home. From inside the Vertibird you have a light switch, you can recharge the fuel, you can recharge its ammo, or just store anything that you like in the containers. You can also access the control panel to change its weapons, its voice, and anything that we have previously already covered. You have access to a workshop, and you can practically build anything that fits into this space. And if you install the mod SKK Global Stash, you can actually access everything in your workshops from inside the Vertibird. After you are finished with the cargo hold, to exit the cargo hold you have to go back to your power armor and then go to the door, to wherever dangers lie in the Commonwealth.
Sustained.
So now let's take a look at some of the weapons that you can use from the Vertibird's cockpit. You have nukes, plasma missiles, cryo missiles, napalm missiles, pulse missiles, and some of these variants for miniguns. And now I will show you some Vertibird paints that come with this mod. Just for the sake of completion, I would also like to mention that you can change the Pchela's voice to any of the ones listed here. And I hope you liked this video, and don't forget to go to the mod author site and check out this wonderful mod. Thank you very much, see you in the next one.